conceptual perspective to things. People talk about it as elements, that all of the elements.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope that everybody is having a great day. Look, I'm taking time to record this because I want to share something with you that I think is immensely important and informative. I have included a link to a prose article I wrote on epigenetics, which is something I discovered when researching generational trauma, the transmission of generational trauma some years ago. And I expanded my knowledge of epigenetics. And I wrote this prose article for the layperson to gain an understanding of how it influences us and how trauma can be passed down on a genetic level and how gene expression works as it responds to epigenetic influence, epigenetic environments, and things of that nature. And there was a discussion going on yesterday in which an individual was talking from a very superficial point of observation in declaring that there's no such thing as generational trauma and that generational trauma hasn't been passed down and oppression of blacks no longer exists and a bunch of other stuff that was unfounded and revealed that they had did very little in the way of research other than confirmation bias to support their own way of thinking. What I wanted to do is kind of bring this back to the surface. I have put enough research into it that I was actually contacted by the International Epigenetics Council on Cancer, which obviously wasn't the reason I got into it. But epigenetics does more than just dictate the transmission or facilitate the transmission of trauma. It shows how environmental influences can activate or upregulate, turn on certain disease genes. Disease genes exist in everyone. Whether they are actually turned on, upregulated, or downregulated can depend upon a number of different factors. And so all of this stuff is there. Now, the beautiful thing about epigenetics is while it explains the transmission, the genetic transmission of trauma, it also explains how you can overcome that, how you can put down the failures of the past, the disturbances and disruptions of the past on a traumatic level as well as on a health level, because we're talking about diseases and everything. I explain this in some detail in this article. I have the link in there. And so I want you guys to check it out. If you want something that's a little bit more academic, just email me and I'll send you a copy of a paper I wrote about epigenetics and psychology. And you can get an understanding of that. I wanted to share this with you because I want to show you the depth of what I do in order to understand the plight of my people. What I do isn't superficial. What I do isn't the repetition of regurgitation of what I heard someone else say. This is me digging in and really truly coming to a point of understanding of what's going on with my people for the purpose of developing solutions. And that's what I'm about. I'm about creating solutions. So I want you to check this out. Click the link, read it, determine if you want to know more about it, or start your own research. There's a lot of data out there to give you some insight into how epigenetics actually works on a number of different levels. I would love at some point to have a forum discussion on that type of influence because we need to understand it on that level if we're going to combat what we are facing as a people. And so I want to encourage you to click the link, check it out. It's going to be in the description box. It's going to be on the Odyssey Project site. Go check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Get back to me. If you want something a little bit more academic, I can get you something I wrote on that. Just let me know. I think that's it. Don't forget to support the work we're doing. I can't stress that enough. Look in the description box, go to the first paragraph, and just decide which way you want to support the work we're doing. On that note, I'm about to get out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.
From a conceptual perspective, things people talk about it as out of success.